Hey everyone, Stephen GetMoneyMyrick here, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the Celestial Island, and we're not going to be talking about, oh, what's the best way to use your resources, where should you have one house or two, all the stuff June has been knocking out of the park lately. No, we're going to be talking about the important stuff, which is design and aesthetics. You know, what does your island look like? Because maybe you're like me, maybe your island kind of sucks and doesn't look that great. So hopefully watching this video, you'll get some inspiration of some designs that you think are cool that you want to show off. Maybe you want to adapt them in your own way. I do want to give a giant thank you to all of my guild members that made submissions, as well as to the French Discord. Ralph Trolson in particular was very helpful getting submissions from the French Discord. So we got ones to show off. Maybe you're in this video. Leave a comment below if you like what I say about it. It's just gonna be a positive video where we just check out different bases, and maybe you'll learn something and maybe you won't. Obviously, if you're somebody that submitted a picture, thank you very much in advance for doing that. I really appreciate it, so we can make this video together and just sit back, relax, enjoy, and look at some different island designs. I do also want to say that if you're not subscribed to my channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button. I really appreciate it. Let's check out these island designs. So we're going to start with the creme de la creme, the cream of the crop, and that of course is my island and this beautiful design we have going on here. Are we able to zoom in at all? We can. Oh, look at this. What are these things called even? If we go into our decorative building, in case you don't know, you have different tiles you can use, different flowers, as well as just little pots and little things. So these are ritual torches. For some reason I picked the ritual torches to maximize prosperity. The one helpful thing I will say in this video is, if you're not aware, you can only increase your prosperity up to 1500 points on the main island. So while it looks cool to add more things to your island, you know, it is using those void stones that maybe you want to use in the forge, because maybe you want to get some rocks going, maybe you want to do some good action there. So, you know, there's maybe a constricting space if you want to get the most out of those 1500 points, but I know a lot of these submissions they went ham out, they went balls to the wall, and they just made their island look good. But mine obviously is the most disappointing that we're going to see for the rest of the day. Maybe, spoilers, there might be something that's actually worse than this. We'll go see. For my cloud island, we're rocking a very similar design. Look at this great little garden I built, just bending around here, not even in a straight line going on. And that's enough to just make me happy and get to my second household being unlocked. So yeah, not the best designs that you're going to see today. So now let's go ahead and look at some that actually look pretty cool. So first we're going to start here with Nova's island. And I love the way this looks for your homeowner here. I mean, this is just very cute and simple. I like the paths. I like the fact that we have, you know, sunflowers. Just a really nice sharp look with these sunflowers with the paths and then the little quadrants broken out here. All of his stuff is tastefully sprinkled in, even walking down here to the well. Just a really solid design by Nova. This is a design by Cross, and I like this design too. You know, I do think the statues are maybe a little awkward. I don't know if you'd want to put them in the middle or not, or if that's too symmetrical looking. But I do like kind of the walkway thing going on here. It's very unique looking, having your galleries in the four corners here of the Celestial Island. You got the torches up here in the back, keeping things alight. I do like these, yeah, the cool technique you can get here with these tall trees, making like walkways down things, and then using these bushes for partitions if you want to do that. This is another Celestial Island design. This is by Broken Name. And you've got the outside border of the flowers here. You've got some more hedges and bushes in the middle. You don't have the symmetry, probably because you can't fit it quite. I put in the bushes on this side. Things in the middle, the kind of big main path walkway here. And it is hard, right, because you have the four galleries, but you also have the furnace and the two statues. So you don't have the apples to apples for the furnace that you can balance out. But yeah, very sharp looking base here. Like I said, if you like any of these designs, you know, feel free to just pause the video and try and recreate it your own, and, you know, go for whatever design you want to go for. This is a Celestial Island submission by DLX, and it's, you know, it's organized, it's tidy, and what he's proud of, because he's the king of efficiency, is that it's exactly 1500 points of prosperity. So not using any extra void stones than you need, having that main central walkway, and again, you're getting a lot of that symmetrical look going on here, especially with like the statues at the front here and then curving off to kind of border in the galleries is an interesting look. The forge, unfortunately, like I was saying, just gets kind of left out when you do something like this. But it is the minimum requirements, and it's nice and clean and sharp looking. This is a submission from Skinny from the general Discord channel. This one I really like this kind of technique of using the hedges to kind of quarter off and make a central area here with the flowers and the torches. Oh, this is kind of sharp. I do like this technique of putting the statues out here in the corners with the torches like that. That's pretty cool. Putting the forge in the center so you don't have to deal with the symmetry issue we've talked about before. You know, these are the important things in Idle Heroes. Because I will say, it's like when I make my bases, like, what's the best way to put it? When I play Animal Crossing, it's like I don't necessarily care what my island looks like. I just cared about getting the blue rose, you know? So it's like, for me, if I was making a design, I would just put my blue rose plant like right in the middle of my island, and the rest of it would just be trashy and just kind of convoluted. But your eye would be drawn to the fact that I earned like that blue rose, because that's what I worked towards and what I was proud of. Whereas like the rest of the island actually making sense and looking nice, like that's just way too much work. So this is the trap I was falling to. So I always appreciate like people going out there and making these interesting, cool designs. I do look forward to the fact that maybe we'll get more kind of decorations, maybe more unique things. Maybe you do well in a PvP event, and so you get some cool little design you can put in your island that other people can see. I would really, really like that. It also reminds me of Clash of Clans, like back when I used to play Clash of Clans, like, I don't know, 6-7 years ago at this point, it feels like. I don't know if it was actually that long, maybe it was 5. But you would be able to look at other people's bases and you would just go and be like, oh, look at this guy's walls. It was always like, what level walls do they have? That's how rich they were, was like whatever level wall they had. Oh, this guy has max walls. That's crazy. And here, you know, we got the hedges, but what if you could get hedges with like cherries in them? And that's the creme de la creme. That's the best you can be doing. So hopefully the game goes in that direction, and you know, I'll still be just having a crappy base, but other people will be able to express themselves, which is cool. This is a submission by Mugiwara, and you have again that symmetry by putting the furnace in the middle of the island. You've got your mines out in the corners and your galleries and the central kind of path. You could see you got the sprouts, like something's about to start growing. Sorry for the pixelation we get going on here from the low quality image that I'm copying and pasting over. And yeah, I like these like bushes in the back here as kind of like a stop. I think it's cool. Where did they actually put their statues? Oh, they're kind of hidden. And they're not hidden, they're kind of there. I like them in the corner. That one design that we saw by Skinny, I thought that was pretty dang cool. So this is a submission by Fear Itself, and this is obviously the kind of submission I was actually expecting to get. I won't get into too many details, but I was pretty shocked by the lack of profanity, the lack of explicit content that I received when I went out to just the general public and said, hey, send me your pics. You know, that like most of them were actually pretty helpful and pretty cool. But here we have the first one, Fear Itself, telling everybody to F off. And, you know, hiding the statues a little bit here. Definitely your eye is drawn to the FU going on here. Getting an interesting symmetry balance. You know, we typically have been seeing the, like, 2 on one side, 2 on the other side with the galleries. And this one has 2 of the galleries in the center here, and getting more symmetry that way. This is Raf Space. So again, big thank you to Raf Trolson from the French Discord. So this is their homeowner base here that they have going on. I think this look with the sunflowers is a really sharp, smart look. I think putting flowers around your fountain here is also a pretty cool look. And then down here for their actual celestial island, they're spelling out Raf, which is very cool. So I definitely could see something with like GM and then like underscore. Like that would be a kind of cool design for me. Everything else is kind of an interesting pattern of being tossed in here, but you definitely get the message here of whose island this is if you were visiting it. This submission is by Nyati. Sorry for the pronunciation, Nyati. But again, on the French Discord server. And again, we're seeing more of that sunflower look. I think that's just a really fresh, good look. We've got one fountain in the middle here and one in the corner, which is kind of interesting. Also the clothes hanging out, I think that's just something that just feels very rustic and very nice. For their actual celestial island and not their cloud island, you can see they've got 3 galleries on one side, which is maybe the first time we've seen that. Like all 3 galleries on one side and then one on the other side, and then all the bases over here. I do like it's kind of an interesting look, right? Like how we've got the statues here with flowers around them. You've got the central thing with the furnace, which is kind of nice. And then you don't have to go, like if you don't force yourself into symmetry, then you're allowed to do some kind of creative things here. Like what they're doing here, where they're putting the bushes on the backside of this one, but they're not on the backside of here. So it's almost like maybe in your benefit, like what we've seen are a lot of symmetrical ones that, you know, they look really sharp, but maybe the best designs are actually gonna be ones that don't use, you know, symmetry and are a little bit more unique. This is another submission from the French Discord, Ligeron. We have Some flowers, some bushes here, you know, kind of some pathing going on the homeowner side. And then on the Celestial Island, we're seeing that similar design we saw across with using the tall bushes to kind of set up a pathway. But in the middle here, you know, surrounding the furnace, getting some of the torches, getting some galleries spread out. And then in the corners here, there's statues being next to the base. So similar concepts to what we saw with crosses, but a little bit different. Here we have submissions from Kizok, who's again on the French Discord server. Definitely a hard separation between the galleries going on. We've got the forge up here. We've got lots of spacing between the mines, which is interesting. We've got the two statues at the front. I still think my favorite look so far has been the statues in those corners. I think you can definitely work with that. But again, that's kind of putting yourself into the symmetry, whereas this, you're losing the symmetry and you're able to express yourself in a little bit different way. And down here in the homeowner system on the Cloud Island, again, you know, just going with the flowers and the fresh look. I really like that sunflower look that a lot of people are doing here, and you can see they have them on the corner there, and the clotheslines. Those have kind of been the standout what do we call MVPs of the designs, I feel like. This is from Aaron44, and you can see you got an R, and then I don't exactly know what I'm missing here with the spelling, or if it's just a design or just thrown in. But it makes your brain, you know, kind of question about what's going on here. Kind of interesting. And then the crazy thing about their base, actually, you can see they have a Thakwa as a homeowner, which is just interesting. And they've just overloaded it with sunflowers. You can tell they're trying to get that max prosperity that they possibly can on that island. I don't actually know what the max you can get for the Cloud Island is. I know it's 1500 for the Celestial Island, but at some point I assume you stop gaining prosperity, but I don't actually know that, but I assume you do. And this is Shiwa, apologies for my pronunciation, I'm so sorry, but from server 1, really sorry about how I probably butchered that. But you can see here, this is also like something we haven't seen ever, right? Is this kind of yin yang pattern going on in the center here. Makes me wonder if you could do something more with that and actually making designs and patterns with the tiles. But definitely unique and not anything we've seen so far in this video. We're getting near the end. This is from General Guan Yu, and what he calls it is his lazy base, and you can tell why, right? I mean, it's just getting enough prosperity. It's very similar to the kind of designs I get, but I went out there and I asked for designs, and again, I was expecting to get a lot more designs like this. And again, on the homeowner on the Cloud Island here, filling up with the sunflowers. The sunflowers are definitely where you want to be, and I realize it's kind of falling within the herd to get those sunflowers out there, but they are the best looking. And then here Slowflake is just having fun with us, honestly, at this point. Just how crammed and orange can we get? I wonder if you could almost like make a design by taking them out and it's like negative space, you know, and doing stuff with that. So like right now, like people like Roth, like spell his name with the torches, right? What if you took out the torches and spelled something with it? That would also be pretty cool, I think. So while I think he was kind of joking in a way, or at least just filling up his base, it actually kind of inspired me to think about a different design that we haven't really seen anybody else doing. This is from Mouch, and this is a whole new look compared to any other one we've seen, I feel like. You get the tall bushes on the central alleyway here, but kind of these blue flowers. These are ones that I haven't seen anybody else using, and it's very cool looking, very like calm, very like almost futuristic. They almost, if you told me it was like glass, you could trick me into thinking it was glass. So definitely a different kind of look as opposed to like the sunflowers and the French, you know, the southern French countryside. Like this is kind of a unique look where I feel like there's actually some opportunities here for doing something a little bit more different and interesting. And the final submission for this video today, this is from Daddy and their design that they have going on. I do like this kind of rounding that they're developing with the bushes here and kind of tucking the galleries in there. I think that's pretty interesting and not like anything we've seen today. They have the kind of front pathway as opposed to heading towards the tower, right? It's more like it's blocking it in and keeping it separate, as well as getting some patterning going on here with the slide, with the tiles, excuse me. So honestly, a pretty different kind of look going on. And I really like it. It's really just kind of interesting, you know, especially this curve motion we have going on here. And even using the torch here like it's its own thing. You know, it's not here for anything other than just being an exhibit, but it almost makes it feel like the torch is a building or something special. So that's the video. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. Hopefully you felt inspired. Again, thank you to everybody that gave submissions. Looking at my base now, honestly, I'm like getting pretty disappointed in what I've done. And You know, I was able to live with it before, but I'm not quite sure. I can look at just how pathetic, especially the homeowner island and what I've got going on here. It's pretty dang pathetic and empty, isn't it all? So, yeah, we'll see if I ever get around to make it better. Hopefully they just give me something where I can spend $300 to get a cool bush. And then, you know, gives my hero like 1% more HP. And then I'll be all over showing that off in some way. But for right now, you know, I did have the right idea, actually. I went with the sunflowers without, you know, reviewing other people's bases. That's just where it's at, apparently. So thank you all for watching this video. Hopefully you found it enjoyable, and I will see you on my next one. Bye.